Welcome to our TechSpherePodcast, where we explore the coolest corners of the tech universe. Today, we're diving deep into the world of short codes for your Android phone.
Ooh, very cool.
Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you know how sometimes you need information about your phone, but
Yeah.
digging through settings feels like navigating a maze?
Totally.
Well, imagine just typing a few digits and boom,
Yeah.
you've got your IMEI number.
Oh, wow.
Detailed battery stats,
Right.
even diagnostic tools right at your fingertips.
That's amazing.
That's the power of short codes for Android.
I know. It's pretty incredible.
They're like secret passwords unlocking hidden features and information.
It's fascinating how these codes work.
Yeah.
They're not random, but based on two protocols, USSD and MMI.
Okay.
Think of it, this USSD is like sending a quick text to your carrier, say, to check your balance or add minutes. MMI, on the other hand, is more about controlling your phone's internal settings directly, like having access to a hidden control panel.
So if I need to contact my carrier, it's USSD.
Yeah.
But if I want to tweak something within my phone itself,
Exactly.
it's MMI.
Exactly. And both types use a similar format. Star, some numbers and symbols, then hash.
Okay.
You just punch them into your phone's dialer like you're making a call.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, are these codes universal?
Well,
Will they work on any Android phone out there?
while some manufacturers have their own unique codes, there's a core set that works across most Android devices.
Okay.
We'll focus on those universal ones today,
Perfect.
so you can start using them right away.
So let's unlock some of these secrets.
Let's do it.
What are some of the most useful codes you think everyone should know?
Let's start with one you hopefully won't need often,
Okay.
but it's crucial. Finding your IMEI.
Right.
Imagine you're traveling abroad
Yeah.
and your phone goes missing. Talk about a stressful situation.
Absolutely.
Knowing this code can help you block the device quickly, preventing unauthorized access to your data.
That makes sense.
Just dial #06tag and your IMEI pops right up.
Wow.
Way faster than searching through settings.
That's a great tip, especially for peace of mind when traveling.
And for those curious about what's happening under their phone's hood, #4636 hashtag is like a secret portal.
Okay.
It reveals a diagnostics panel with detailed battery usage,
Ooh.
your preferred network type, and you can even run ping tests to check your connection speed.
That's cool.
Think of it like getting a behind-the-scenes tour of your phone's inner workings.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I can actually see what's eating at my battery life.
Yep.
Or test how fast my internet really is.
You got it.
Okay.
Now, have you ever wondered about those warnings regarding phone radiation?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, there's a code for that, too.
Really?
Dialing #07 unveils your phone's SAR value.
Okay.
That's specific absorption rate.
I see.
It measures how much radio frequency energy your body absorbs.
That's good to know.
While all phones have to meet safety standards,
Right.
knowing your phone's SAR might make you think twice about keeping it in your pocket all day.
That's definitely something I've become more conscious of lately.
Yeah,
It's great to know there's an easy way to check this information.
definitely.
Okay, what about those times when you're battling bad reception?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a code that can help with that?
Absolutely. For anyone frustrated with spotty service,
I've been there.
300-001 tag 12345 tag is your new best friend.
Okay.
It reveals a precise signal strength reading in decibels, ARBM. This is super helpful when troubleshooting with your carrier.
Right.
Instead of saying my signal is bad, you can say I'm getting a -110 dBm reading.
Ooh, that sounds much more technical.
It makes you sound like a tech pro
Exactly.
and helps them pinpoint the problem.
That's a game changer.
Oh.
Now, are there any codes that can help me, say, make an anonymous call if needed? For those times when you want to maintain a little mystery.
You're thinking like a secret agent?
Maybe?
For those covert operations?
Okay.
31 tag temporarily disables your caller ID.
Wow.
Just remember to reactivate it with the same code when you're done.
Got it.
Unless you plan on living off the grid permanently.
Right.
Yeah,
That's really helpful to know.
it is.
Now, for a more extreme scenario,
Yeah,
is there a way to completely wipe my phone clean?
there is.
Yeah.
But be warned. This is the nuclear option.
Okay.
Dialing #7780 tag triggers a factory reset.
Oh, wow.
Wiping all data from your phone, photos, contacts, apps, everything.
So
It's like hitting the reset button on your digital life.
Yikes. So that one's only for absolute emergencies.
Exactly. Only use it if absolutely necessary, and make sure you've backed up all your important data first.
Great advice. So we've covered some pretty essential codes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm curious, are there any other interesting ones out there, even if they're not for everyday use?
Oh, there are tons.
Really?
We've only scratched the surface. There are codes for testing your touch screen, checking your RAM version, even creating a device media backup.
That's amazing.
It's really incredible how much control these codes give you over your phone.
Wow, this is amazing. I'm already feeling like an Android power user.
You're getting there.
Okay, before we delve deeper into those more intriguing codes, is there a way to easily manage all these combinations?
You don't have to memorize them.
Okay.
A great trick is to save them as contacts in your phone.
Oh, that's smart.
For example, instead of remembering hashtag 46326 as tag, you can just create a contact named battery info and store the code there.
Okay.
Then you can access it, just like you would call any other contact.
That's a brilliant tip. So I can create a whole list of codes disguised as contacts for easy access.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay, let's take a break and then come back to explore some of those more intriguing and maybe even fun codes you mentioned.
Sounds good. All right, ready to uncover some more of those intriguing codes?
Absolutely. I'm particularly curious about those more specific codes you mentioned earlier, the ones tailored for certain phone brands.
Right.
What kind of hidden features can those unlock?
Some are pretty neat. For example, if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone,
cool.
dialing #0tag opens up a hardware diagnostic menu.
Ooh, a diagnostic menu.
Yeah.
What kind of things can you check with that?
You can test various hardware components like the screen's responsiveness, speaker clarity, whether the buttons are functioning correctly, even how well the sensors are working.
Wow.
It's a handy way to make sure everything's in tip-top shape without having to visit a service center.
That's super convenient.
Yeah.
What about other brands? Any secret codes from Motorola or OnePlus fans out there?
Motorola phones often have a hidden engineering mode you can access with #2486 tag.
Okay.
It offers a bunch of advanced settings and testing options, but I'd recommend proceeding with caution there, as some tweaks could potentially affect your phone's performance.
Sounds like a playground for the tech savvy. And what about OnePlus?
OnePlus users can try #888 tag to enter their own engineering mode.
Okay.
And if you're feeling really adventurous, and I stress caution here, there's a code, #294732243443 tag.
Oh, wow.
That wipes the internal memory of a OnePlus device.
Whoa, that one sounds even more extreme than a factory reset.
It is.
Definitely not for the faint of heart.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's crucial to emphasize that these codes can have significant consequences.
Right.
So always research thoroughly before dialing anything you're not completely sure about.
Solid advice. Okay, it's amazing to know these secret tools exist.
I know, right?
Hidden just beneath the surface of our phones.
It really is.
It's like having a whole other layer of control over our Android devices.
That's the beauty of technology. There's always something new to learn, something hidden to uncover.
I agree.
It's all about staying curious and exploring.
Speaking of exploring,
yeah.
Are there any codes you've discovered that surprised you with their functionality?
One that caught me off guard was #225 tag.
What does that one do?
It reveals all the events and appointments from your linked Google calendars,
Really?
including birthdays and holidays.
Wait, seriously? That's actually pretty handy.
It is.
It's like a quick glance view of your schedule without even opening the calendar app.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a great example of how these codes can sometimes provide shortcuts to information that's already on your phone but buried in menus.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. These codes are all about efficiency and access.
Yep.
It's like having a set of shortcuts designed for power users.
That's a great way to put it. They bypass the usual interface and offer a more direct path to certain functions or information.
Right.
And for those who like to tinker, they provide a peek behind the curtain of their devices.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for your phone.
I like that.
So speaking of decoding, are there any tips for figuring out what a code does before you actually dial it?
That's where a little online research comes in handy.
Okay.
There are websites and forums dedicated to these codes.
Got it.
Explaining their functions and potential risks.
Good to know.
Just be sure to use reputable sources and double-check the information before trying anything out.
Good point. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to something as important as your phone.
Absolutely.
Now, all this talk of secret codes makes it feel like we're hacking our phones.
Yeah.
Is that a fair comparison?
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Yeah.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
We are bypassing the usual interface and accessing features not immediately obvious to the average user.
Does that mean using these codes is dangerous?
Not necessarily. As long as you use them responsibly and with a bit of caution, there's no need to worry.
Okay.
These codes are built into the phone software for a reason. They're meant to be used, whether by developers, technicians, or curious users like ourselves.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So we've explored codes for finding your IMEI, checking signal strengths, wiping your phone clean, even testing hardware components.
Right.
What are some other interesting codes you think people should know about?
Well, there's one that can help optimize your phone's performance, especially on older devices.
Got it.
Dialing #0283 #CEFTAG suspends all background processes, freeing up resources that could be slowing your phone down.
Oh, interesting.
Think of it like giving your phone a little boost.
That's pretty neat. It's like having a secret weapon against a lagging phone.
Exactly. And we've barely scratched the surface.
Wow, there's so many.
There are codes for testing your GPS, checking call forwarding status, even viewing detailed information about your phone's camera hardware.
Wait, a code to test my GPS. That could be incredibly useful for hiking or traveling. What is it?
It's #1472365, #ShakeTag.
Okay.
It can help determine whether any GPS issues you're experiencing are hardware or software related.
Definitely adding that one to my list. It's amazing how these codes give us a sense of control over our technology.
I agree.
Yeah.
In a world where technology can sometimes feel overwhelming and complex, these codes provide a glimpse behind the curtain, empowering us to understand and even troubleshoot our devices in a way that wasn't possible before.
It's like we're learning to speak the language of our phones. So before we wrap up, are there any other codes you think our listeners would find interesting?
There's a code for almost everything.
Wow.
If you've ever experienced problems with Google Play services, which is crucial for many Android functions, dialing #426 runs a diagnostic test on Firebase cloud messaging. This is the system Google uses for push notifications and other communication between your phone and Google's servers.
So if my notifications are acting up, this code could help figure out why.
Precisely.
Okay.
It can show you the status of the connection and help troubleshoot any issues.
Got it.
And if you're looking for something a bit more lighthearted,
fun.
Try #0842, #it, test your phone's vibration motor and backlight.
Wait, so I can make my phone vibrate on command?
You can?
That's hilarious. I can already imagine some fun prank possibilities.
I'll leave the prankster applications to your imagination, but remember,
of course,
always use these codes responsibly.
No phone vibrating shenanigans during important meetings.
Right.
But it's great to know that even these seemingly technical codes can have a playful side.
Absolutely. It all comes down to perspective. Technology can be serious business.
Right.
But there's always room for a bit of fun and exploration.
So as we approach the end of our deep dive into Android secret codes, is there one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say it's this. Don't be afraid to explore. Your phone is capable of so much more than you might realize.
I like that.
With a little curiosity and a few well-placed keystrokes, you can unlock a world of hidden features and information.
I love that. It's a great reminder that technology can be both powerful and playful.
For sure.
So to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to embrace your inner tech explorers.
And remember, if you ever come across a code you're not sure about, always research it thoroughly before dialing.
See
first.
This deep dive has been an amazing journey.
It has.
I feel like I'm seeing my Android in a whole new light now.
That's great to hear.
And this is just the beginning.
Absolutely.
There's a whole universe of tech knowledge out there waiting to be explored.
So true.
So keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and keep that curiosity alive.
Beautifully said.
Well, unfortunately, we've reached the end of our time for today. Thanks again for joining us on this exciting adventure into the world of Android shortcodes.
It's been a pleasure exploring with you.
Before we say goodbye, I want to circle back to something you said earlier.
Okay.
You mentioned that there's always more to discover in the realm of technology.
Right.
What are some areas you think are ripe for exploration, especially when it comes to mobile devices?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One area that I find particularly fascinating is the intersection of artificial intelligence and mobile devices.
Oh, interesting.
We're already seeing AI integrated into various aspects of our phones, from voice assistants to camera features. But I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Yeah.
Imagine AI that can anticipate our needs, personalize our app experiences, and even help us troubleshoot technical issues in real time.
That sounds incredible. It seems like AI has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with our phones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about making our phones smarter. Right.
It's about making them more intuitive and user-friendly.
Got it.
AI can help bridge the gap between humans and technology, creating a more seamless and enjoyable mobile experience.
I'm excited to see how AI continues to shape the future of mobile technology.
Me too.
But for now,
Yeah,
I think we've covered a lot of ground today with these Android shortcodes.
I think so.
I feel like I've unlocked a whole new level of control over my phone.
That's the power of knowledge. By understanding how these codes work, you're taking control of your technology instead of letting it control you.
I like that.
And who knows,
Yep.
maybe this deep dive will inspire some of our listeners to explore even further and discover their own hidden tech gems.
I hope so. So to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and never be afraid to dive deep into the fascinating world of technology.
And remember, if you discover any cool codes or tech tips, share them with the community.
Definitely.
We can all learn from each other. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring. Thanks again for joining us on this exciting adventure into the world of Android shortcodes.
It's been fun. Yeah.
Before we say goodbye, I want to circle back to something you said earlier.
Okay.
You mentioned that there's always more to discover in the realm of technology.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some areas you think are ripe for exploration? Especially when it comes to mobile devices.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One area that I find particularly fascinating is the intersection of artificial intelligence and mobile devices.
AI, okay.
We're already seeing AI integrated into various aspects of our phones.
Right, like you were saying.
From voice assistants to camera features.
Makes sense.
But I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Yeah, I think so too.
Imagine AI that can anticipate our needs.
Wow.
Personalize our app experiences.
Okay.
And even help us troubleshoot technical issues in real time.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
It seems like AI has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with our phones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about making our phones smarter, it's about making them more intuitive and user-friendly.
Right.
AI can help bridge the gap between humans and technology, creating a more seamless and enjoyable mobile experience.
I'm excited to see how AI continues to shape the future of mobile technology.
Me too. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
But for now,
I
think we've covered a lot of ground today with these Android shortcodes.
Absolutely. Tons of good stuff.
I feel like I've unlocked a whole new level of control over my phone.
That's the power of knowledge. By understanding how these codes work, you're taking control of your technology instead of letting it control you.
I like that, yeah.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire some of our listeners to explore even further and discover their own hidden tech gems.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and never be afraid to dive deep into the fascinating world of technology.
And remember, if you discover any cool codes or tech tips, share them with the community. We can all learn from each other.
That's a great point.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring,